Hey everyone, I continue to adapt how I do these travel videos now that I have moved back to the Northeast. Today we are in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. We're going to check out some of the sites involved with the historic Civil War battle, but also a whole lot more. There's a lot to offer here in Gettysburg, and I think we're just going to have a fun couple of hours. So like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you enjoy. This statue is of the great Thaddeus Stevens, who would later move to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, run for the U.S. House of Representatives, where he would win and be the leader of the radical Republicans during the Civil War era and Reconstruction. It's so wonderful that they are starting to recognize him more and more. This statue went up just a few years ago in Gettysburg, and right now they are turning his old house in Lancaster into a museum, including the basement area, which was found to be part of the Underground Railroad. Thaddeus Stevens was part of the network of people who helped escape slaves make it to the North and find their freedom on the other side of the Mason-Dixon line. A true American hero, and it is great to see him honored in ways like this. This statue is outside the Wills House in Gettysburg, and you can see Abraham Lincoln tipping his top hat. And that top hat is actually pointing to the room in the Wills House where he stayed on November 18th, the night before he gave the Gettysburg Address at the dedication of the cemetery in Gettysburg. What people in town will love to tell you is Abraham Lincoln was actually not the keynote speaker at the dedication of the cemetery, and the keynote speaker spoke for over 2.5 hours. Abraham Lincoln, about 2 to 3 minutes to do the Gettysburg Address, and it is one of the most famous speeches in American history. We loved this store. A little Irish too. Not only does it have imported goods from Ireland, like you can get Tayto potato chips, for example, but they also have Gettysburg specific Irish merchandise, including a flag for the 69th Battalion, who fought for the Union in the Civil War, made up of Irish Americans and Irish immigrants, and a whole lot more. Just a lot of local and Irish history in this store. Very, very cool. So it was right here that President Lincoln arrived on November 18th, 1863. He stayed down the street at the Wills house, and then the following day, November 19th, he gave the famous Gettysburg Address, but he arrived right here by train to this spot. So this building here, which now has a Thai restaurant and a kitschy little antique store at street level. This building was the home of the great Congressman Thaddeus Stevens when he lived here in Adams County in Gettysburg before he moved to Lancaster, where he became the U.S. representative and played a huge part in the passing of the 13th and 14th Amendments. He also engaged in the Underground Railroad and was a true civil rights champion. On a hot day, I was able to get a Guinness Zero here at this Irish pub right on Chambersburg Street in downtown. So excited. So we still have a few more Gettysburg sites to see on this trip, but I did want to give a little review of Gary Owen's Irish Pub in downtown Gettysburg. That was a really great place to stop. Maybe a little pricey, but you know, this is a tourist town, so even though it's a small Pennsylvania town, it's also a tourist location, so you're gonna end up paying a little more for food and things like that. But Courtney got the chicken strips with sweet potato fries. She really liked those, especially the sweet potato fries, dipping them into the special dipping sauces that they had with them. She also got the Irish poutine, which had Dubliner cheese, and I believe there was Guinness that was cooked in to the gravy. So another really great item for her. I got for my appetizer the Irish nachos. Unlike most Irish nachos, which are usually waffle fries with nacho toppings, this was just chips with nacho toppings. It was really good, just wasn't what I was expecting. I was excited that they had Guinness Zero, like I mentioned earlier, non-alcoholic Guinness, that's always good. And for my entree, I got a really good veggie burger. I was able to get Dubliner cheese on that. I also had some barbecue sauce. It came with onions and the regular fixings on top. Really, really great place to stop. Air conditioned. You can get some cold drinks. If you're walking around Gettysburg on a hot day, you're gonna be doing a lot of walking. So that was a nice place to stop, get off our feet for a little bit, have some cold beverages, and now we are ready to see a few more sites. This is St. Francis Xavier Catholic Church in Gettysburg, and like many of the churches and bigger buildings, the stores in town, during the battle in early July of 1863, this church served as a hospital for those who were wounded during battle. It must have been just an incredible sight, but it is still a working church, and of course, on the front it says, "For God and Country." Here's a plaque outside the church, and it says, "During the Battle of Gettysburg, this house of God became a hospital for wounded soldiers. Within its hallowed walls, brave men of North and South, foes on the field of battle, through weeks of pain, were nursed with tender and equal care by the Sisters of Charity of Emmitsburg." I would like to point out that there were no brave men on the South, but that those nuns did an amazing job of trying to help alleviate some sense of suffering. But there are no brave men who try to fight to keep other people enslaved. Right now we're at the Eternal Light Peace Memorial here on a hill atop Gettysburg, and this was dedicated years after the fighting as a sign of a hope of peace. This monument was actually dedicated by President Franklin Roosevelt in 1938 for the 75th anniversary of Gettysburg. It was the last gathering of Civil War veterans in Gettysburg. It's made with granite from the north and limestone from the south. trying to commemorate the unity of the country. This is the battle flag of the 69th Irish Brigade, which fought here in Gettysburg in early July of 1863, fought for the Union. And across the street from me right now, you will see a memorial to the Irish Brigades, the 63rd, the 69th, and the 88th. These are Irish Brigades that fought, men fighting for their brand new homeland, some of them right off the boats, and they were fighting for the Union in the Civil War. When I get closer, you're going to see that there's an Irish wolfhound sleeping on this memorial. I think that is such an amazing touch. So I was so honored to get the chance to come back here and see this memorial. It's definitely off the beaten path, so you have to really want to find it, but it's really, really inspirational as well. And Pennsylvania's 116th Infantry was another Irish brigade here, and it is commemorated by this memorial that is basically right around the corner from that other Irish memorial commemorating the New York brigades. But this one is beautiful here. With everything going on in the country right now, it was a very crucial time for my own mental health to visit Gettysburg and be reminded that when good men and good women stand up against hate and evil, we can win, and we have won in the past. And for all of these heroes who put their lives on the line for what is right, we cannot let them down. They fought this same enemy over 150 years ago and won, and they didn't fight that hard. They didn't risk their lives so we could let it happen again. So inspiring. Please like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon.